All right, YouTube, it's your boy Alex Trains Chess back here for another video. So I just watched a video by a guy named John Meadows. This is the Mountain Dog Fitness, and it talks about how to get stronger without gaining weight. And when thinking about this video, watching it, I got inspired to make a little video of my own and just talk a little bit about some of the things that John mentioned that I think are super important. So if you guys want to follow the Mountain Dog, it's this video right here. Get strong, not big. Mountain Dog 1. All right, before I get into what I want to talk about specifically with John's video, I just want to give him a quick shout out. All his workout advice, all his nutritional advice, etc. has been a huge help to me. I've implemented a lot of it in my workouts and gotten a lot out of it. So just really fast, John, thank you so much, man. For putting out your content. And now, if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of like bandwagon on this topic that you were talking about a minute ago, which is how to get strong and not big. So the reason why this video kind of struck a chord with me is because I'm a rock climber, and a big aspect of being able to get stronger at climbing is actually to get stronger but not bigger, because the whole challenge in climbing is that you have to move your own body weight around the wall. So the heavier you are, the harder that's going to be. A couple, maybe about 4 months ago or something like that, my local climbing gym came out with a little newsletter, and in that newsletter they mentioned this exact topic. They said, you know, it's important for climbing that you're strong but not big. Therefore, you know, we recommend keeping your rep ranges super low and focusing on compound movements. Now, one thing John mentioned in his video that's super important was kind of towards the end. And, you know, definitely if you're a climber, watch his video and listen to this, which is that if your body's not used to moving really heavy loads, because typically if you're looking to get a strength benefit out of training in the 5 rep or below range, you're going to need to be pushing what your body can handle in those 5 reps, which means that it's going to be a lot of weight relative to, you know, this might be 80% of your 1 rep max, 90% of your 1 rep max. Maybe you're only going in and hitting your 1 rep max, right? And if you're not used to doing that, you're going to injure yourself. And John talks about this, so I don't want to dwell on it too much, but one thing that I want to kind of add on to what he was saying is it's super important, if you're training like that for strength, to have good form. If you constantly go to the gym and you have really bad form on these compound lifts and you ignore some of the muscles that are helping you contribute to perform that lift, your body is smart and it's going to figure out another way to compensate for what muscles are lacking for you to execute that lift. And not only is that a pathway to injury, but it's also not really going to get you stronger in the way that you want to get stronger, because remember, if you're a climber, you're doing these lifts to supplement your climbing strength, right? So there's going to be like a lot of big muscles that are trying to work together in this lift that aren't actually getting worked if you have crummy form. So tell me if you guys have ever seen something like this in the gym. You go into the gym, you see somebody set up at the squat rack. They've got 3 plates on either side. That's 315 pounds. And they're trying to go for the 1 rep max. And you see them do something like this. They set up really wide. They get under the bar. They push the bar up. They're a little bit loose with their hips and their core. And they do something like this. Notice how my knees are barely bent. I'm mostly leaning forward. Maybe from this angle it's a little bit better to see. So I'm wide, I'm loosey-goosey. I'm barely like this. How many of you guys have you ever seen a squat just like that? All right. Let's talk about the bench press. How many of you guys have ever gone into the gym and seen someone set up with a huge amount of weight on the bar for their size, and they're doing something like this? they've got the bar up, they're kind of rounded forward a little bit, and that's 1 rep. That's another rep. That's another rep. Okay? We'd even take this over to the deadlift. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Sweet. I've got 405 on the bar, and now I'm going to try a deadlift. Rounding the lower back, not activating the core, not bending the knees, really mostly hinging at the hip with poor posture. So in all those cases that we just looked at, the point I'm trying to make is if you really think that you are going to get solid strength gains out of executing single repetitions with heavy weight with form like that, not only are you really risking injury at that point, but more importantly, you're not actually working the muscles that you want to work. In this particular article at my climbing gym, it really emphasized doing strictly compound lifts, okay? And my comment to that is compound lifts are essential to you getting stronger, of course. But there's something to be said about doing isolated supplementary lifts so that you don't injure yourself when you do a compound lift. Because the whole reason why they're called compound lifts is because they involve multiple joints, they involve multiple muscle groups, and your body really needs to be trained well to act together to move that much weight. Otherwise, like I said, you're going to injure yourself or you're going to be working something that you don't want to work, which is also typically a pathway to injury. So, all that being said, yes, if you want to get stronger but not bigger, totally agree. Don't work in high rep ranges. I mean, I would even say maybe even 3 reps and below is what you want to do. But here's the kicker. Don't think that you're just going to be able to keep doing, your 3 rep exercise all the way up to these like giant weights and not have a problem if you don't also do specific supplementary exercises and isolated lifts. And the last comment I'll make about climbing is that a little bit of muscle mass can actually go a really long way in climbing. What I mean by that is, let's say you gain a pound of muscle, but let's say you're able to statically hold, your body weight or something like that on crimps or something like that for like a whole nother 30 seconds, right? So you can get these small incremental gains in muscle mass that lead to these bigger incremental gains in strength. Now, of course, that curve is gonna, top out somewhere and start to decline. Like, I'm probably on the other side of that curve. I have a little bit too much muscle mass. Like, if I was to lose muscle mass, I'd probably be stronger at climbing. But I see a ton of guys who come into the climbing gym who are very, very light. I'm talking about guys who weigh 110 pounds, 120 pounds, or girls, they weigh 80 pounds, 90 pounds, all right? They've got a really light body weight, really light frame. If they put on just like 4 or 5 pounds of muscle, I guarantee you they're going to be way stronger, but they're still not going to weigh that much. So they're not going to offset their strength by weighing too much. So what I really want, honestly, is for people to not go through injuries like that. And I promise you, if you strictly do compound lifts and you're constantly only doing 3 reps at 90% of your 1 rep max and then going for your 1 rep max and you're having bad form, I promise you, I guarantee you that you're going to get injured doing that. For those of you guys who watch this and you think to yourself, oh man, like I go into the gym and I have shitty form, I beg you, please lower the weight and really think about everything that's happening in your body when you execute those lifts. That's it.